Elon Musk went on Joe Rogan's podcast to talk UAP, aliens, and to debunk the fact that Elon doesn't know anything of what's going on, right? And he basically is saying that he doesn't think any of it's real. He would know if there was some sort of advanced hidden technology, and he also points out some interesting things about different advanced aerospace companies, right? Lockheed, Northrop. We'll get into it.
The other thing they're going to talk about is UAPs. They're going to release all the UAP information. So you're the guy to ask about this. What if any possibility is there that there is some sort of advanced propulsion system technology that's being worked on in secret? And that they're trying to cover this up with this talk of aliens and alien tech and not of this world. And is it possible that there's some sort of very secret program that's going on in cahoots with some defense contractors that are developing advanced propulsion systems that they're using for these drones?
SpaceX, my company SpaceX has the most advanced rocket technology in the world. I think I'd know.
Right.
And to the best of my knowledge, there is not any magic. There's not like some super advanced propulsion technology.
How convinced are you by that answer? To be honest, it does sound like he believes what he's saying, right? Like what he's saying, he's the richest person in the world, and you're going to find out some stats about SpaceX that's going to blow your mind as far as how much they contribute to rocket technology in the world. It's kind of amazing. Now, stay with me because there's still a lot more to come from Elon and Joe, but it's a perfect time to bring up the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Can we talk about my balls? You see, I use Manscaped in my real life. So the idea that they would send me a new razor that they've just released is awesome. It's called the Chairman Plus. This is a phenomenal razor, y'all. Has interchangeable heads that are magnetic locking, which makes it really easy to switch them out, right? So you can get precision, you can get the sideburns, I can clean up my beard here, right? I go all over the place with my facial hair, and this kind of razor allows me to live that life, y'all. Take care of your face, take care of your balls. And ladies, if you're listening to this, this is a great gift for guys. I promise you, this is one of those real products that guys actually use. Please make sure to use my code down below in the description with the code VETTED, VETTED. That's a promo code which will get you 20% off and free international shipping. So check out the link, use the code, and begin your Manscaped journey today.
There have been people who have theorized different gravity drives and different things. Is there anything that's ever gotten past the theoretical stage?
No.
Nothing.
Well, there's nothing even that I'm aware of that works in theory. It's not like I would like this to exist, to be clear. I would like this to exist. And I have from a security clearance standpoint, I have top secret. I have equivalent of like an all access pass from a security clearance standpoint. So I don't think they're hiding it from me, basically. I don't think they could.
And this is where we're going to start to get into what I feel is sort of the meat and potatoes of this particular part of the conversation about UAP, because many people say, well, just Elon Musk is being left out of the loop, right? And let's be real, this isn't the first time Elon has stated these sorts of things, but I have to admit, some of it is a little new, what he's going to say about these advanced aerospace companies, right? So he's claiming he has a top security clearance, all access pass. He would know if anyone knows.
Unless it's completely in these weapons manufacturing corporations.
I know these weapons manufacturing companies, like Boeing, Lockheed, and Northrop. Yeah, they do some interesting things, but they do not have. There's no breakthrough that they have.
So
I'm confident they do not have a breakthrough.
When you hear people
like, why don't they just compete with SpaceX and make a better rocket? In which case, they can make. Why are they holding back on making a lot of money from beating SpaceX with better rockets?
And there it is, right? That is honestly a pretty good argument, right? Which is, if these advanced aerospace companies had this technology, why aren't they capitalizing on it and monetizing it, right? They could be beating Elon, right? And SpaceX, because they're actually not the biggest companies in the world, right? They're some of the biggest, but they're not the biggest. They could be the biggest. So if they're hiding this, one thing is to have a craft and you don't know what to do with it. Another thing is, the claim is, no, they figured it out, reverse engineer it. They've made other crafts, but somehow just secretly behind the scenes for no good reason. So investing billions of dollars into it, but never gaining anything monetarily from it, right? And if they are, they're not doing a very good job.
My thought was that, what if it's just a drone and you can't have a biological entity inside of it because it just bursts from the fucking speed that it's moving at? That a human couldn't tolerate the amount of force. So they're just drones.
I don't think so.
So what do you think people like Ryan Graves and Commander David Fravor...
I want cool things to exist.
Right.
Now, don't worry. He kind of cuts Elon off asking him about David Fravor and Ryan Graves, but he does get a chance to ask him later. So stay tuned for that here in just a minute. But what's interesting is, thinking about that, it would be great if Elon could respond to all of these people that have come out, right? Your Lou Elizondos, your David Grushes, right? What does he think about some of this stuff?
Do I want UFOs to exist? Yes, I want UFOs to exist because that would be really interesting.
Of course, everybody does.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
It's a more boring world where UFOs don't exist, or like flying, like advanced propulsion stuff doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, that's more boring. It'd be more interesting if it did exist. I'd like it to exist. I hope we find something, but I have not seen SpaceX launches 90% of all satellite mass to orbit. So if you take all of Earth's rocket launches, my company has a 90% market share of Earth. China does about 5%, and the rest of the world does, including the Boeing, Lockheed, Northrop, and everyone, does 5%. So why wouldn't they use this to defeat SpaceX?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Why would they hold
No,
back?
listen, that's why I asked you.
That's a pretty interesting statistic, right? And you could take that both ways, right? So Elon's saying, he says 90% of the rockets on Earth, 5% to China, and then 5% to everyone else. And that includes Boeing, Lockheed, like he said, and everyone else, any other country that shoot, Russia, anything, anyone else shooting up rockets, right? And that's kind of interesting, right? Now, I don't know how real that number is, but I would assume he's got that pretty much figured out. But maybe that's why you would want to keep it secret, because you have 90%, right? So maybe, if Elon did know, he has every reason to lie about it. I'm not saying he is. I'm just trying to play, devil's advocate here, right? Both sides. I think what he's saying is reasonable, but at the same time, again, it does make sense. If you want to protect that 90%, you wouldn't want to get it out. It's more one of those things like, well, nobody can have it. Because if one person gets it, eventually it's going to spread to everyone else. That happens pretty much to all technology almost.
What do you think that these people are
We're
seeing?
launching a rocket every 2 days.
But what do you think these people are seeing? When you have reliable people like Commander David Fravor, who had that infamous Tic Tac experience off the coast of San Diego, where they got this thing on video, they tracked it going 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 feet in like a second.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they also have video evidence of this thing accelerating at a great speed, eyewitness accounts from 2 different jets.
Sure. Does anyone have a high-res video or photo of this thing?
Well, there's a video of this thing where they're locked onto it, and then it takes off. It shoots off
Is it
out of the
high-res?
frame.
Okay.
No, it's like whatever the systems they used on fighter jets in 2004. Essentially like Windows 95.
I mean, there's like somebody did a curve of like the resolution of UFOs and the resolution of cameras. The UFO resolution has stayed flat,
Right.
despite megapixels in cameras going like, super high.
Well, according to Christopher Mellon,
Why are they still blurry?
Christopher Mellon, who worked in the State Department, said that they have high-resolution photos and videos of these things, and that's all that he's seen it. It's all locked away. Whenever people say that to me, I'm like, don't even tell me that then. Don't, unless you have...
Just leak it, for God's sake.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Like, let it slip.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple photos. They're grainy. There's not one thing that I've ever looked at and go, holy fuck, that's it.
Look,
that's what I've been looking
you
for.
You could ask our Grok AI right now to create a high-res image of an alien spacecraft, over Austin.
Yeah.
And it's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
So why do we not have at least that?
Right.
And to be fair, this is something a lot of people bring up, myself included, right? But even then, stuff can be, just like you mentioned, AI can create stuff. So it makes it, videos and photos have really taken a hit on credibility as of late, especially with the rise in AI, computer graphics, generated graphics, right? Like, it's almost impossible to use video or photo on its own merit as some sort of piece of evidence or something, right? Just because of that, especially if you can't track the chain of custody, more details, witnesses that were there, right? You need other data, right? You need multiple angles of the video or photo or something, right? I mean, that's the world we live in, right? And of course, the resolution is never good. I would say we have good resolution, but not for zooming in on things. So unless it's just like right up on you, zooming in on your cell phone isn't very good at all. So just to play, be fair here of why maybe some of this is like that. But let's be real. We've all said, damn, all these UFO photos are so grainy, right? Same with video. So I think we've all been in that boat before.
Yeah, but I want to believe. That's the problem. My brain starts going, oh, come on. This is no fun. I want it to be real. I want there to be at least be some advanced propulsion system. If not, like, what are all these people seeing? Like, what is happening if we're not being occasionally visited by things that are smart enough to hide?
We might be. It's just that these aliens are very subtle.
Yeah, you keep saying that. It's a good line.
I mean,
it's a solid line because it's pretty accurate.
I just want to see some high-res video of aliens.
Look, how are they just evading all the cameras? If you think about that, and the ones that you do get them on, that's just like some faraway light that's moving weird, and it could be a lot of things. But I want to believe.
Yeah, Joe. We all want to believe. I get it. Okay? I totally get it. And that definitely can get in the way sometimes because I want to believe. Right? I really do. People think, Patrick, you don't want to believe. I do want to believe. I mean, how does someone know my true heart? I definitely want to believe. I'm just not ready to jump the line early, right? But man, do I want to believe, and that gets in the way, right? Because I don't want a boring life or a boring world that we live in. Now, granted, it's not that boring if you really think about it. Humans have done a lot, but the idea of adding this extra element would be pretty sick.
There have been like multiple times where the Air Force and Navy has called SpaceX and said they think they've seen aliens. And we're like, was it at this time, on this date, in this location? They're like, yes. How do you know? That's us.
Well, there's been a lot of
That's
that.
our satellites. Those are our satellites.
Well,
they're like, no, they're not. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely our satellites.
Oh, yeah. People see the SpaceX satellites all the time whizzing by.
Yeah, they're our satellites. And they are moving at, 16,000 miles an hour. So it's pretty fast.
And that is a true thing. I've covered that on this channel before. Lots of sightings, videos that just turn out to be Starlink satellites. Even like launches from SpaceX, people have confused, right? Like a ring falling off of a rocket, right? People call it an orb, and then when you investigate it, right? Like that definitely happens a lot. Pilots mistaking Starlink, like it, to say it doesn't happen is crazy. Now, I'm not saying all of them are that, but he's not wrong when he says that accounts for a lot of sightings for sure. Does it account for all of them? Probably not.
It's because I'm an alien. So it's time you knew.
I
Joe,
thought about it.
I'm an alien, and I keep telling people I'm an alien, but they don't believe me.
I believe you.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you.
Thank goodness.
My suspicion all along was that
I'm
you were
just
an
trying
alien.
to get back to my home
I
planet.
said, you're a friendly alien. Like, it's nothing wrong with aliens. I like people from everywhere,
Yeah.
even other planets.
Well, and you heard it there from Elon. That's why we don't know. He is an alien. So technically anything that he builds is alien spacecraft, right? I mean, he gets accused of that a lot. You know what I mean? I don't even know how you get around that accusation by denying it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like once it's out there, it's out there. But look, I'll put a link in the description to the full Joe Rogan interview with Elon Musk. I'm sure many of you are going to want to check it out. This is pretty much everything I showed you is everything they talked about when it comes to UAP. All right, so you got the full clip there. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Does Elon Musk know more about aliens than he's letting on? Guess we'll find out sooner or later. All right, y'all. We'll see you in the next one, vetters. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace!